Hello, welcome back, generals. I thought I make a little video on generals Russian localization, Russian language project. Yeah, 3 years ago I did start some efforts, which wasn't really much work on my own. Basically, I just collected a bunch of files. So we have a lot of Russian players in Zero Hour community. And obviously they benefit from like a proper Russian translation for the games, everything nice and tidy. Super Patch will cater to Russian language fully. Yeah, so that has all language is in there, fixes and all that stuff. But we do not have a clean standalone Russian language pack. It currently is bundled with the RG Mechanics installation, which is a little bit of a piracy thingy, so that's not good. But as far as I'm aware, there's no standalone thing. So I tried to start to kick off this effort here. This project is on GitHub in the Super Hackers group, Generals Russian Loka. Basically, it's for both Generals and Zero Hour, and basically, I just took the files from the RG Mechanics install as a baseline, and then put also some missing English files in there. I put it then into a new folder for Russian. Took the ini file that was there, the credits.ini, and yeah, then put the sounds and the speech in the Russian folder, because you can actually set Russian as a language in the registry, right? So you don't have to use actual English. It can be put into Russian folder, and then all the files can then be built into big files. Currently, it's using. Let's go to. Well, we can view it. Yes, okay. So right now, it is using just a bunch of bad files to build it. It's not using Mod Builder yet, so it's a bit outdated. It probably needs to be upgraded to Mod Builder to have better control over how we build the data. So there are two Russian local versions right now. There is the RG Mechanics, which is created by all rights reserved by Siberian Studio, if I'm not mistaken, according to this here. Siberian Studio. And then there is another version called Triada, and that is, I think, spoken by one guy, every unit, everything, but that is not part of this. But how Biban, author of Casino Map, he has suggested that perhaps some voice lines can be substituted in RG Mechanics with the Triada voice lines. So the RG Mechanics voices, they are quite complete as far as I'm aware, and also all the artwork. So here we have textures. As you can see, they have here Russian text on those images, and here this one even. So they really put the effort to make it all Russian, so that's good. But why not? So as far as I'm aware, it's pretty complete, as in like all the challenges and all the missions, campaign missions, have all voice translations, and obviously all the EVA sounds and the unit voices. But the quality is varying. Some voices are good, some are okay, and others not so good. let me see. There is on the game page project, I put a file somewhere. Here, design, tasks, Russian tasks. Here, I don't know why it's in here. Maybe we should move it to the other repository. Basically here it says RG Mechanics Russian, and then I put a rating here as I perceive it. Good, okay, bad, untested. And so here some are good, Avenger good, Paladin good, Tomahawk bad, right? So, I mean, we can listen into this. I hope you will be able to hear it. I enabled the sound recording. So let's go to something good, to Avenger. Yeah, we need to go here. Russian VAV.
Заряжаем. Действуем. Цель захвачена. Начинаем лазерную атаку. Годится. Наведение. Подтверждаю цель. Есть, сэр. Движемся к цели.
Did you just say yes, sir?
Есть, сэр. Анализируем местность.
Okay, so this I evaluated as good. Then let's go to Crusader V Crew. This is what I thought is okay.
Готовы к бою. Новые дроны готовы. В любой момент, сэр. Дроны усовершенствованы, сэр. Новая броня установлена. Усовершенствуем дроны.
Yeah, so there was Laser Crusader. Yeah. And what is bad? Tomahawk V Tom. Let's see. V Tom. Why is this not showing up? V Tom. Okay, it doesn't exist. Let's try something else then. V Hum. V Hum. Also not, huh? What? Why is this not V H V H U? Well, there is no hum. Huh? What did I document here? I don't know if my documentation is wrong or something else is wrong. Okay, let's look for something else then. Tank Hunter, Etan. It's also sounds. Am I in the correct folder or not? Ah, right. Russian ZH only adds 0 hour voices. Okay. So the sounds are in here and right. My mistake. So the general's audio. Yeah. So general's audio is 0 hours using the general's audio, and these base units are in the general's audio. Okay, now I got it. All right, then let's go in here. Audio, sounds, Russian. So VTOM. We're still in 0 hour. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit slow today. Data, audio, sounds, Russian. There we go. Okay, VTOM. There we go. There it is.
Инструкции приняты. Подготовка к запуску. Заряд ракеты. Расчет скорости ракеты. Поправка на ветер. Система полета активизирована.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad to me. So it sounds like to me they have varying quality. Some voice actors had better voice quality, others not so good. And yeah, so I mean it's good baseline, like there are sounds for everything, so that's already good. But perhaps next steps are, first we need to update the repository to get mod builder in there, and then perhaps we rename this game files. What was the name? Siberian. We call this game file Siberian. Yeah. And then we also create a game files triada for the other audio files, if how Bilban can send me the link to it. And then we could, yeah, and then we could maybe record new audio voice overs by Russian people. I mean, there's obviously always the option of AI generated voiceovers, but I don't know how good that will be. I mean, AI sound overs, I would have thought that this works great as like a baseline if you had no sounds to begin with. But since we already have sounds for everything, so probably don't need AI placeholders. Now there's obviously the question about, okay, the texts. I don't know if there's a catalog of texts for all things. If there is, then I don't have it right now, I think. So basically, we have here our language file. So this is in super patch right now. So we have all the languages here, right? And this one also contains the mission dialogues here. But this is only for 0 hour. This is not for generals. And so do we have Russian dialogue? If yeah, okay. So Russian translation is completely missing here from this. It does have it for Spanish, Italian, Korean, and Chinese, because these ones, yeah, it's missing here for Brazilian and Polish as well. Basically, the deal with those dialogue events here is that all languages that do not have voice lines, language-specific voice lines, they should write here instead. And then they hear English, but they read their native language. But when Russian has, when Russian has all this as voice, then it doesn't need the text here. But it would have been nice if we had the text anyway, because then like you could just pass the text around, and then a new voice actor could just talk. When a sentence here starts with a star, that means the game does not use this sentence. So you can write something here, and it's compiled into the CSS file, but the game will ignore it when it starts with a star. But so it doesn't stop you from making a translation, though, right? Yeah. So yeah, there would be a little bit of work. The repository would need to upgrade with mod builder. Improve the file organization and make it ready for Triada, and then for any potential new voiceovers, and then we just swap out, right? So you have like, okay, game files, this, game files, that, and that. And then we just pick and choose what is best, right? And this, then the Russian localization can evolve over time and become better, but you always have like an already working product to begin with, right? So that would be the ideal status. So right now it is functional. I think once if you press make release, it will build all the big files and everything will be there. But yeah, it's pretty bare bones. And yeah, the quality is varying on the voiceovers. I think let me see. Game files edit. Data ini. Where's the CSF file? Here. Okay. So they have a CSF in here, and that is compiled. So we would need to have a str here. Need to convert this to str so that it can be edited as well if need be. I don't think we need to go overboard here with editing this one though, because Superpatch is taking care of all the Russian text anyway. So, but Superpatch will not add Russian sounds. It will only touch Russian sounds if they are part of a fix for something that the original game has. There are such cases. So, for example, let me find here some folder. Yeah, on that note, before we continue, let me copy this one into Russian local. Let me put it here. Documents. Or let's call it design. Design. Russian tasks. Well, let's say. Let's call this review txt. And this URL is outdated. The super hackers. See voice.ini for more information. Why? Voice.ini. Do we have a voice.ini here? No. I don't know why it refers to voice.ini. Okay, so what I wanted to say is game files edited, right? Data Russian, no? Optional data audio restoration sounds Russian. Yeah, here there's something here. Just a copy of VSTE. Yeah. Okay, so basically here what this does, like the game references a file, but the file originally does not exist. So and this one places it here, and this one is Russian.
Все, стреляю! Готов возвращаться!
Yeah, and then for the others,
Stealthjäger bereit zum Start.
that's a German robot voice, French.
Chasseur furtif prêt au décollage.
Yeah.
Stealth fighter ready for takeoff.
Yeah. Yeah. So Superpatch will edit voices only where necessary, but it won't. It's not intended to give the foundation of the language pack. For non-language pack, it only will provide the text fixes. And some ini fixes like the header templates and or the language specific text definitions, but not the actual audio files, apart from like this one, for example, right? And yeah, so this one needs to be its own project, and it is. And I think we can drive this further. Obviously, this needs work from Russian people. Like I can only do like the high level organization and like getting the project to like build and everything and provide the like here I have the folder here and yeah, assist with that, with building the project structure, but like the actual language edits and the audio files creation and here all the translations, that needs to be done by someone Russian. Yeah. And so I expect that there needs to be like a big document of all the mission voice lines and unit voice lines and so on. And there probably already is, because someone already translated the game twice. So there are probably documents, but I don't know if these are publicly available or someone hidden or someone has them. Someone probably has it, but I don't. Yeah, but I mean, we have reference sounds, so that's already good. I mean, baseline sounds for all things Russian, so that is good. I don't know if there's anything missing. Perhaps it's not complete. Actually, you could check we could check by like comparing the files with against English and then see if something is missing on the Russian side. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. So you put you put English and Russian side by side, and then use a file differ and see if any of the Russian files are missing, or if there maybe one too many. Yeah. Yeah. So I do remember that. Ah, yeah, here, how Biber has answered me. I have been asking him where the Triada WAV files are. He sent me a link. Okay, that's good. I do remember in the past how Biber said, yeah, he did actually recommend this or suggested this of mixing the Triada voices in 3 years ago. He suggested that. It has been a while. And then, but he also said that he could organize some people to make new voiceovers and like replace some of the bad ones. But unfortunately, that never happened. Probably because we don't have an overview of what actually should be done. So I think the easiest for a Russian voice specialist would be get like a list of the voice lines, get the file names for those voice lines, and get maybe the reference files that are already there for English and Russian, so that he has something to work with, and then he can record the new ones and can send them, right? And then we can update them in the repository. Like if the repository is ready and everything is set up, then it's easy to just like put in the new voiceovers, and then we just go from there. Replace every time we get some new voice from anyone. I mean, it doesn't have to be professional voice specialist, can be anyone, right? As long as it sounds exciting and good, and it should be good. I mean, and we can also do what we can also do is clean up the voiceovers, like like get rid of the clicking and popping and humming and whatever. But yeah, there could be a bit more work depending on the quality of the recordings. It I don't know if there by now is a AI solution that can easily clean up any generic voice sound file, but yeah, it's possible to do this by hand with good results. And I heard that the RG Mechanics one, it does have quite a bit of noise in there, right? It's not super clean. Yeah. So yeah, to really polish the Russian language pack, it's a lot of work, I think. A lot of work. We have a starting point. I think this repository as is already a good starting point. It needs an upgrade with the mod builder, as I said. Then we rename here this to RG Mechanics, or what was it, Siberian Studios, game file Siberian. Original English, this one is here to, what is the purpose? It provides some files here. So it looks like the game file's original English provides anything that Russian on its own does not have. So it does not have a command map in it. Okay, that makes sense. And this movie files. I'm surprised though that there are no audio files here. I know that in 0 hour there are audio files here. The generic. Yeah, so these are all the generic voice files, which don't need a which don't need a translation, right? Because they will be same. But I'm surprised that it's only in 0 hour. I wonder if this is in the wrong folder. Like perhaps this should be in generals, not in 0 hour. I'm not sure. I suspect so. Because I mean, generals also has death sounds, right, for units. So perhaps this is in the wrong folder here. Yeah, yeah. I would have to check. Maybe there are mistakes. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much testing on this or anything. It's just put it together and hope for the best. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So I think the biggest work here really is get an overview. Get an overview of the quality of all the voice lines, right? Which I have already started with the file that I've now copied here, right? This one. Let me make it a bit larger. So this could be expanded where you put more missions and all this stuff, right? And see like, okay, what are the qualities of all these things? And then you have a starting point and can say, okay, we definitely want to replace these first because they are not good. And then you can figure out, okay, how do we replace them? Then there would be the option of Triada version, which Hauptbildbaum has just sent me the link to. Then there is the option of AI voices, and then there is the option of new voiceovers. Yeah. And then you start replacing. And then eventually, with a bit of effort, you get some new, nice, polished Russian language pack, which would be just a drop in into the original, any original game install on the Steam version or anywhere. Change the registry key from English to Russian, and then launch the game, and it just works on its own. And it doesn't require English language, it doesn't require French language, it just works on its own. Russian is its own thing, it's complete, everything works. That would be the goal, right? And yeah, Super Patch will certainly cater to it. That was always the idea. Yeah, but we need the space pack, basically. Yeah. I think this is a great pilot project because then we probably also need the same for Arabic and maybe Ukrainian, because we do have Arabic and Ukrainian texts, which is the Arabic text. I don't know how polished that is, maybe not so polished. Ukrainian text, there has been a polishing path. It was created by Yapik and then it was polished by Windstalker. And so there is, we have text, but we could also, for starters, Arabic and Ukrainian could also just use English audio for starters, right? which would be easy to create. You just rename. You just put Ukrainian and Arabic into those named folders and sounds and whatever speech. Put it into a big file. Done. Yeah. Okay, but that's not. We don't need to worry. I think Russian is much more important for now. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if when someone wants to work on this, then I can provide the organizational foundation for it, update the repository, make it all nice. Basically put the files where they belong and make it all build and make it all work. This should all be possible. We have all the tools for this. But yeah, the big part is really the translations and the voice files. That is bulk of the work. And it's not easy because as far as I can tell, there's a lot of junk in the RG Mechanics voiceover. There's a lot of bad voices. Here, there's a lot of minuses here in this file, as you can see. And ideally, everything would sound as good as everything that is marked as plus here. Right? We can maybe listen to a few more to get a feeling of what sounds good, in my opinion at least, or what sounds best from what there is. I mean, obviously the absolute reference languages are English and French. English and French. Ignore German, because that is a mess. English and French, those are the language, the reference qualities, right? And with English, I mean the English that is in Superpatch, not the one that is in the retail game. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at Russian here. Russian game files, edited data, audio, sounds. Okay, E-Red, let's hear.
В атаку! Враги рядом! За республику! Мы их подстрелим! Мы дьяволы! Средиземье!
Okay, now it doesn't sound that great to me.
Им не захватить Китай! Генерал, наша база атакована!
It doesn't sound that great. I don't know why I marked it as plus. Let's see something as hacker. E-hack.
Готов качать баксы. Интернет я сушу. Никто не заметит такие крохи. Охрана понтовая. Информация — это общее достояние. Взломал. Вражеское здание отключено. Ха-ха, здание готово.
It also doesn't sound that great. I don't know what. It sounds like my evaluation skills weren't all that refined. Let's compare this with English to get a feeling. With the polished English, of course. Game files optional. Data, audio. Sounds, restoration, English voice. E-hack.
I'll suck the internet dry. Nobody will notice their money is missing. Security is minimal. No backup for this. I'll let myself in, thanks. Booting up. I'm in. Hack complete.
Ха-ха, здание готово.
Okay, there's still a huge discrepancy in quality.
Вражеское здание отключено.
Okay, but it looks like my expectation for Russian was lower then.
Enemy building is disabled. Okay, give me a sec.
Отмычки готовы. Не стреляйте! Вражеское здание отключено.
Ich hack dir. Ich hack dir. Ah. Could it be that the generics voices are already implicit here in this Russian pack? If that's the case, we probably need to identify everything that matches English and then we move it into English folder. It shouldn't be then in Russian. We should have like clean separation. Like, okay, Russian is only in this folder and the original English files are not inside Russian, right? Because only the files in here in the Russian folder, they should be like actually made by Russian voiceovers, right? So, but this sounds like it's English.
Эй, это сверхурочка. Не стреляйте!
Okay, let's listen at something else. Toxin Tractor, VTox. Let's see, VTox.
Возьмемся за них! Проедем насквозь! Душ вызывали? На всех хватит! Люблю делиться! Распылители готовы! Я хочу кое-чем поделиться с вами. Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
It has a bad ceiling, this sound.
Ничего, скоро будете готовы. Скоро будете готовы. Ничего, скоро будете готовы. Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
There's something wrong here in the high tones. It doesn't sound clean. There's something wrong in these voice recordings. It can probably be cleaned, but you will need to find the right settings and clean it up, yeah.
Скоро будете готовы.
It's in the highs, like this.
Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
This sounds clean.
Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
The lows, but obviously it's quite muffled, no?
Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
Yeah.
Скоро будете готовы. Ничего, скоро будете готовы.
Yeah, so I don't know how easy it would be to repair those sounds, but yeah, so these are the better ones, yeah? Let's see something else. Scud launcher, school.
Выпустить скат. Сладкий аромат рока. Как великолепно.
This actually is really good.
Я ждал этого. Вверх, вверх, вверх. Разрушение в пути. На небеса. На небеса. Зарядить скат.
This actually sounds really good. Exactly like this we need it to be.
Ничего, скоро будете готовы. Зарядить скат.
It's a bit quiet though. Probably needs to be boosted a bit.
Зарядить скат. Зарядить скат.
Yeah.
Ничего, скоро будете готовы. Зарядить скат.
It's a bit quiet, but I mean, amplitude is easy to fix, right? Effect. Here, amplify. I don't know, 5? Huh? Was that amplify or not? Undo? Yeah. We need to amplify more. Amplify. Let's do 10. Aha, there we go.
Зарядить скат. Зарядить скат. Зарядить скат. Зарядить скат.
Yeah, this voice is really good. So the Scud launcher in Russian, that's really good. If we compare that with English, let's say. English. What was it? V school.
Load the Scud! Load the Scud! They are too close. Ram them! To the heavens! Up, up, up! I've been waiting for this. Load the Scud!
Зарядить скат.
I think the Russian voiceover is almost better than the English one. Very nice. Okay, so exactly like this should be. So it looks like there also is some effort required to normalize those sounds. Some are a little bit too quiet. But yeah, this I think is something that can be tweaked after the fact. Make it louder where necessary, make it quieter. Well, quieter, that probably implies that the sound has hit the ceiling. That's not good. So yeah, better too quiet than too loud. Yeah. Yeah. So I think to make a polished Russian, there needs to be a lot of work. But I think it is possible. And I think it's a nice exercise for all the Russian community members to come together and try to create the most epic Russian language pack for any game. Yeah, for 0 Hour in generals. Yeah. So if someone wants to work on this, reach out. Right now we have Dima, aka DM Green, working on Russian texts, polishing those. Russian text was sourced from RG Mechanics as a baseline, and we do a improvement pass over it for super patch. And yeah, perhaps the next effort could be polishing the Russian Loka, like create it's its own project, right? So it's not related to super patch, but super patch needs it if it wants to build on top of Russian, right? Which we don't have right now. Same with Ukrainian and Arabic. There's no such standalone language packs. There's only the originals: German, Italian, English, French, and so on. Yeah. Okay. What else can I say? Yeah. It needs someone actively working on the actual Russian files, making them all nice. Yeah. I'm currently very busy with textures fixing still, obviously, since a long time, and probably still for a little while. But I think I can help out on the side working on Russian Loka when so needed. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to make an overview real quick here. Hopefully it was somewhat useful. And yeah, then that's about it. Goodbye.